sun is out today. This is a beautiful first day of the new year. I am so happy right now. Oh my goodness. Can feel the sun. Hello beautifuls. My name is Quavia and I'm the creator of JuJu Thyme. In today's video for the 12 Days of Yule challenge, and this is the last day of the 12 Days of Yule challenge, we are discussing where our occult practices will go next. I actually thought that this was a great journaling prompt, especially for a bit of reflection at the end of the year and for the years to come. So I definitely went in on today's journaling day because I really wanted to just really sense where my occult practice was taking me. And so yeah, so there's some things I definitely want to share because I think it's going to be very interesting to just talk about out loud and not just in my head, you know? Anyway, so first off, I want to apologize for the lighting. Today's video may be a little wonky because the sun is here now, but I don't know where it's gonna be going next, or if there's gonna be clouds passing through or something. So I apologize now for any wonky lighting. But anyway, where my occult practice is taking me next. I'm actually very curious of how it's going to unfold, but based off of my journaling, I can see at least a little bit of where I'm being led, and I'm seeing the next steps at least. I see that I'm getting much more deeper into Afro mystic teachings within the Sacred Serpent. The Sacred Serpent is a series that I started on this channel. And it basically just talks about Afro mystic teachings and the lessons that are in them. There are many topics that I want to get into. Oh my goodness, there's so many topics I want to get into. Some of it is for my own growth, but there are a few topics that I wrote down that I can share, and I'm really excited to share them. They are beautiful, they are informative, just for me very thought-provoking, and so I'm excited to take you guys along that journey as well. But when it comes to my personal occult practice, when I was journaling, the word that I was hearing the most was discipline. There seems to be a big discipline aspect to my occult practice that my guides are leading me towards. When it comes to creation or creating anything, or I'm very free-flowing, but it's becoming apparent that a foundation of discipline is needed, so that way my creativity and my occult practice can thrive even more. So that is going to be very beneficial, I think, for me. I think that's definitely something that I'm needing to incorporate into my occult practice, and so that's quite exciting. But when it comes to the discipline, I basically was just journaling and just writing down anything that was just coming through me, because I was wondering just, well, where will this discipline take me? Like, what's the point? What I journaled, a little bit of what I journaled was pretty much talking about a furthering in my connection with spirit, and how this is to prepare me for trance channeling. And that is very exciting for me, very interesting. Trance channeling is not something that I have achieved, but that is definitely something that down the road would be very exciting if that is the path that my guides want to take me down. And so when it comes to the trance channeling, there was like, for this year, it seems that for now I am to connect with other modes of divination, basically to explore my oracle channeling abilities, to sort of explore it, kind of push it a little further. And so I asked, you know, how will that be achieved? And deep meditation is basically what came through. So I'm excited to get into that deep meditation as a way, you know, and also connecting and exploring my abilities a little further, so that way I can prepare for down the road for trance channeling to come through with ease. I also, for my occult practice, I see myself definitely continuing being a student and basically a scientist of my craft, of conjure, of hoodoo, you know. And so when it comes to these two things, I saw the bigger aspects of where I was being led, and I love me some instructional work. Okay, like, all right, tell me what to do then, you know? And so to prepare for these endeavors, through my journaling, it was kind of basically revealed that there are some things that I can do to prepare for these two things, you know, prepare for the deep meditation, prepare for exploring my oracle abilities, and also preparing for being a student of conjure and becoming even deeper into the hoodoo practice and understandings of the hoodoo practice of my African ancestors. So I'm really excited about that. And to prepare for these endeavors, it seems like I am, when it comes to my occult practice, I'm definitely needing to apply the wisdom that I've been given thus far, but also apply the wisdom that will be given to me and apply it through discipline. To apply wisdom through discipline, I can see how when it comes to my occult practice, how that will be required of me, you know, and nothing less. So that's gonna be definitely a challenge, but I feel like it's gonna take me very far. Something else that I sort of came to a realization as well was that there will be a lot of learning and unlearning, and just learning different perspectives and truths, which I see it kind of basically leading me down some beautiful existential crisis. I'm not afraid of an existential crisis. I'm not afraid of the depth. I'm not afraid of the in-between. So I can see how this learning and this unlearning within my occult practice will be definitely needed as I open more portals, open myself up to more worlds and more understandings, you know. And I know that I know for sure that this will further tap me into the Mage of Nations through my imagination. I feel like for the last year, I was standing at the door of the Mage of Nations, and I see now that there's a preparation for me to go through those doors now. And so I know for sure that I will definitely need to stay grounded in my occult practice, to remain present in my practice. And this is to avoid overwhelm. This is to remain in clarity of my own individual path, you know, opening up doors and discovering and getting deeper, and learning different perspectives and everything. For me, it's a beautiful, beautiful process, but it requires more grounding, so that way I don't become so detached from myself, from the present, from reality. When I think of that, when I think of that, I see that at the end, the overall goal for my occult practice of what's coming up next is a deeper understanding of the complex yet simple hidden truths. And in a way, I feel like it's a furthering in my coming home to myself process, you know? So I think that's going to be very, very beautiful. I think it's going to be beautiful to get further into the present and all that the present has to offer spiritually, and the access that you can get by remaining present and remaining open and grateful. And so it's going to be a very interesting fine line of being present, but also at the same time being able to walk that thin line between the material and the spiritual. And all of this through discipline is, I understand why that's needed. I understand why that is the core anchor for my occult practice as I continue further down it. Because overall, the further connection, the deeper autonomy, the enforced will of being a master of creative thought, it definitely takes discipline. And it definitely takes being open and walking that line and opening up those doors. So yeah, I can see how in total this is preparing me for the trance channeling, of how this is preparing me of being two-headed as I work hoodoo and conjure. So yeah, that is where my occult practice is going, and it is exciting, and I'm excited for its depth. I'm excited to continue the unlearning and the relearning. I love that. I absolutely love that. And just opening up those doors through the teachings of indigenous and diasporic Afro mystic teachings. That's my path. That's my path, and it brings me a lot of joy and a lot of clarity and just a deeper understanding of myself in the world. And so that's where my occult practice is definitely going. And yeah, I want to say thank you so much for Ivy of creating this challenge. I've watched so many videos and I'm not even done yet. I'm still discovering people. Like, it's crazy and it's beautiful. And I've connected through the comments to so many people. And so that has also been exciting for me and very fun. And a lot of the topics that was, talked about, I was able to get further into sharing more of just who I am and my practice. And yeah, so it was a very beautiful 12 days. I didn't do all the 12 days, but it was still a very beautiful thing to participate in. So yeah, I thank all of you that I've met and that I've spoken to in the comments. And I thank Ivy, and I thank any new person that I'm going to end up talking with and chatting with a little bit. So yeah, so thank you so much for being on this journey with me, and until the next one's beautiful. Truth and love.